Is this warm pleasant for you?
Oh yeah, I'm working.
Working?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that so they can't get out.
Oh, so you're occupied.
Yeah,
I came in the wrong time.
yeah.
I always come at the wrong
Y'all
time,
come at
don't
the
I?
wrong time, don't you?
Right. In actuality, I'm really not even welcome here.
Oh
right?
yeah, welcome.
No, I'm not.
Well, who said? Got bird mess on you?
I think your wife did.
Oh yeah.
More than
Oh
once.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's pretty hacked off at you. She knew you was out here. She'd probably
So
say
now
something.
you're playing both candles at both ends
I
again.
guess.
Right.
I got to.
Well, you got to.
Yeah.
Why is that, Jimmy?
I've
Are
gotta get
you're?
these
I'm.
dogs
I'm
put
either.
up.
Let me
Josh
put
is
it this
gonna
way.
Shoot 'em.
Let me put it this way. You're either dealing with a halfway nut job, pertaining to your wife losing her mind, and don't know if she likes me or she don't like me, or if I'm welcome or if I'm not welcome. I mean, we've went through this flip flop. Remember the gas can? Coming up here getting the gas can.
Yep.
That was like a couple years whenever I first come back here, and then you had the
I know.
operation. I stayed with you. And then there's been another episode towards her flaring up. Remember us going and eating before
Yeah.
Christmas? Remember that?
Yep.
And then she would settle down. And now this last occurrence that happened, I was actually in there videoing, in which I'm doing that right now. Got the recorder going.
Why?
Because I'm documenting my life, Jimmy.
Oh.
I want to know everything that is concerning my life pertaining to various people that has tried to bamboozle me or hoodwink me to the point that they think that they're getting over on me.
Well, I ain't.
Well, there's been some issues that's went on in both of you's lives pertaining to what all went on, in which that's y'all's business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Don't get too loud.
that-
Dogs will be barking.
But that's y'all's business, right?
Yeah.
But
This is our anniversary today.
well, happy anniversary.
Well, thank you.
But for if you'll go back and retrack the recording, it was you that brought up about the dog being murdered.
That's out here. I
No.
didn't say it in there.
Yes, in there while the recorder was going.
I might have, but I remember saying, do not say nothing about the dog.
But it was you the one that brought
I
up the
might have.
dog.
I might have. I mean, I ain't gonna sit there and argue about it.
And now she's flared up at me because she's got to have a whipping post, somebody to blame something on. I don't know what her problem is with me. I've tried to help the Sweat family as well as the Norton family all my life, as far as I know. I've tried to help you guys,
I know,
just
I
like
know.
I tried to help TC and Robert and Albert and Fat Boy and Kathy and Trina
Trina's a nut.
and well, I'm beginning to wonder if everybody ain't a nutcase down here. I mean,
There
you
you
can
go.
you can laugh about it if you want to, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
dealing with Shane and Shane being
Yeah.
a backbiter and a cutthroater and a backstabber. I mean, I'm beginning to wonder if the whole damn bunch, something has happened to the whole bunch down here.
I think I need to start recording.
Okay, but I'm beginning to wonder
I gotta get
because
busy.
it was you the one that brought up
Okay.
about the dog being
Okay.
murdered. And if you don't
Okay.
believe me, I can
Okay.
get the video
Okay.
off of my deal and I can let
say
you
so,
listen to it.
You say so, but I'm just saying, don't get too loud. She'll come out here. Anyway, I've got to get busy, get this done, because Josh done said he's going to kill my dogs. And I'm going to put that up there.
Josh done said he's going to kill your dog.
Yeah.
Recently?
He has gotten,
Recently?
well, the last time they went up there and got in the trash,
When was that?
it's been about 2 weeks ago.
So that's recently.
Mm-hmm. He told me to come up there and get the trash up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I went up there, and then he said, "Get your ass out of here. I'll take care of Jimmy. But get your effing dogs put up, because I'm going to shoot every damn one of them. I see them out here in this field, that field, wherever field. I got a high-power rifle, and I'm going to kill every damn one of them."
And whenever he does, because you know that he was the one that made the threat, you can call up the Animal Cruelty Humane Society, and you can have his ass arrested.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Well, he said the
Oh
law-
yeah, believe it or not,
the law
believe it or
will-
not, animals have just as much rights in ways or more so than what we do. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they're considered dumb brew. Now, Jimmy, there's no doubt that you're accountable for your own animals out here.
Well, he said the law done said he could do it if they get up in his yard.
Only if
They're in his yard.
Only if he feels like that they are a threat to him. You can't shoot somebody's dog just because it breaks loose from a leash or it gets out of somebody's pen and it decides to walk across your yard or it decides to take a crap or a piss in your yard. That don't give you a right to lower into somebody's domestic animal. And that's the part that these idiots around here, and I do mean idiots, that's the part that they don't understand, is that they think that just because they own their little piece of property that they can blow anything away that comes across there. Once more, they got it confused, Jimmy, between a wildlife refuge. Now, if it was a raccoon, a possum, even a deer, if a deer's getting into your stuff and tearing up your garden and all that, I guarantee you, game warden won't say a word about it. But now you go to shooting people's domestic animals that's considered family to a lot of people. I'm talking about literal family.
Yeah, they are.
You can be sued. You can go to jail for stuff like that.
I said, but in that field, this field, wherever field they're at, I got a high-power rifle. I'll kill every damn one of them.
Did Ricky ever get out of jail?
I don't know if he did or not. I guess he did. There's a vehicle up there. I don't associate with him either.
Everybody's screwed up around here, and they don't have no compassion towards other people's feelings and other people's property.
I just don't associate with nobody.
And there's no doubt you should have your animals caged up or tied up
And that's what I'm
in
doing.
some sort of way. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that streamer coming off that plane.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Didn't you notice how many been passing by here lately?
What's going on today? Is something going on pertaining to international? Something going on?
Everybody's going here somewhere.
Something going on federal or what?
I don't know. But I watched them. He was coming home a while ago. I counted 6 planes in the air. They're going
Look at
this
look
way,
at the
that
streamer
way,
in behind
this
that
way,
dude.
That way.
That's a military plane or something right there, isn't it?
I don't know what it is.
Look how wide the streamers are. You think it's a commercialized jet? But I got one other thing to tell you, and then I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, I gotta get busy.
I know you do. Every time I come in here.
You
And
ain't
it
got no
doesn't-
2x4s this
And it
house,
doesn't,
do you?
huh?
You got any 2x4s? I need about 2 2x4s.
At the house.
At your house? Will you bring them to me?
And whenever I think about it, I sure can. What do you need them for?
I'm fixing to put them up.
I can't right now because I'm going to Kenton.
Are they out where I could get a hold of them?
Yeah.
Like where?
Like go down there at David's. You know where David used to live?
Yeah.
My brother?
Yeah.
There's that trailer's down there.
There's some 2x4s just laying
There's
on the
two
ground.
by no, not laying on the ground. There's some 2x4s up underneath all that tin. I don't want you to remove all the tin,
No.
but I'm pretty
Okay.
sure there's a
Okay.
2x4 too, and those are treated 2x4s, which cost about 3 times more than a regular 2x4. But you won't have to worry about it rotting out here in the rain. But you're welcome to get a couple 2x4s off of that trailer if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'll run down there and get one. You're gonna go right now? Horse, you can't get behind the truck. Come on. Too many dogs have gotten killed like that.
What was I going to say to you a while ago?
I don't know about everybody screwed up around here.
No, there was something else.
You're probably gonna say something before you pull it
Oh,
off.
yeah. The main reason why I wanted to stop here was, I found out about my cousin. They thinking that somebody murdered him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at the age of 46. They found 97%, what's that chemical that they make meth out of?
I have no idea.
Methanol or something like that. They found 97% in his bloodstream
Oh,
whenever they found his body.
hard
They
to
don't-
make meth out of all kinds of crap under the sink.
Well, they do that too, but that's the dirty stuff. But a lot of that, those chemicals are coming from China. But anyways, they have scheduled his memorial on my birthday, which is the 22nd of this month. I'll be 59 years old.
59.
But my niece, by the way, happy anniversary.
Well, thank you.
But my niece out in California, which is her brother that died, called me a while ago and said that she may not be able to come. I said, why? She goes, because they're putting restriction bans on traveling pertaining to the coronavirus up in San Francisco, where she's from, out there in California. And she said they may not allow for me to even get on an airplane 2 weeks from now, the way that this coronavirus is exceeding and expanding. And
I heard it's in Louisville, Kentucky right now.
yeah.
They got one in Louisville, Kentucky. It's getting closer.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a matter of time. It's going to be right here in this neighborhood. And you know, they claim that the flu this year is almost as bad as that coronavirus. I talked to a young girl, 22, 23-year-old girl up there at the Hart the other day that was waiting on me, a waitress. And she said she almost died about a month ago. Yes, and she was young, fit. You could tell she could probably run a track, probably 4 or 5 miles at a bat of a hat, never had no children. And she said whenever it hit her, she said it literally put her down to the point that she was steadily going off on both ends, lost about probably 10 pounds and dehydrated, and literally thought that she was going to die. Matter of fact, she said the only thing that saved her was her dog. She said she had a pet dog, and her mother kept bringing her medicine and food, and she said she couldn't eat but just a little bit, eating like a bird, and she said she almost died.
Well, let me get this done, Jimmy. I'm in the middle of this crap, and I've got to get it done. Got to get it done.
Well, look, if you get your keys and get your vehicle right now, if you'll do it right now, because I still got 2.5 hours before it gets dark,
okay.
We'll go on up there and try to get that wood. Tell her real quick. All right. And I'm sorry about your dogs, Jimmy. It's warmed up today. It's nice. It's probably 57, 60, 62 degrees out here. But it's sun shining. It ain't windy. It's finally a halfway decent day towards people getting out and doing a little bit of yard work. This guy up here, Josh, he was the individual that had been blowing boom on me towards discharging a firearm over my vehicle every time I would pass. Every time I would pass by his house, wasn't shooting him no birds, didn't have the radio going, none of the above, and he would discharge. Okay.
Boy, get up. Get up, Gina. Go ahead back.
All right. He would discharge a firearm towards trying to intimidate me, because he didn't like me driving down his road. And according to Judge Moore up here in Weakley County, he advised me, this is how messed up that they are. He advised me, well, if I was you, I wouldn't go back down that road. In other words, even though I pay Tennessee state taxes, and I've been a Tennessee citizen since 1967, I've got the same driver's license today as what I did whenever I got them restricted one time whenever I was about 17 years old because of my improper driving behavior. But I've been a Tennessean since 1967. My parents, their parents, their parents' parents, I could go all the way back into the early 1800s. Even though I've been a Tennessean, I got to be restricted towards what road did I go down and what road did I don't go down, based upon an idiot or idiots that thinks that they can discharge a firearm every time a vehicle goes by their house if they don't like the vehicle. Not realizing that you're not supposed to discharge a firearm no closer than 50 yards from the highway, and you're never supposed to discharge a firearm over the highway because it's considered reckless endangerment. But these idiots out here think that they can make up their own rules and regulations and violate the Tennessee state statute pertaining to the laws of Tennessee and basically just put the law into their own hand like a bunch of vigilantes. This is what I've been dealing with since I come back here in 2014. And it's literally almost drove me to a state of death. It has drove me to a state of bad health because of me living in Hickville down here. Nothing but Hickville. A bunch of drug addicts, meth makers, ex-drug makers, a bunch of people that don't have no pride for themselves. They don't have no pride for their property, and they sure don't have no pride for other people unless you fit into their same criteria towards being a drunk, a sleaze bag, a renegade, a drug maker, a drug taker, an alcoholic, somebody that's basically just a worthless piece of you-know-what. Then they'll take a liking to you, and then they'll act like that they're your friends because they fit into the same caliber. Birds of a feather do flock together. This is the environment. This is the neighborhood that I moved into in 2014 pertaining to all these drug lords that's down here. Drug lords and alcoholics. And I mean, I knew it was bad whenever I was growing up down here pertaining to a bunch of drug lords. And of course, they elevated from alcohol to drugs pertaining to smoking weed. And now they have elevated from smoking weed to your narcotic Oxycontins and methanol and fentanyl and any other kind of hard substance drug. So it's basically ruined their minds to the point that they don't know they don't know daylight from dark hardly. And we got a judge up here that believes every word that they say because he'd rather favor to either a stinking rotten whore that lived across my road, or rather favor to a drug addict or an alcoholic than he would somebody that goes to church every day and believes in biblical Bible prophecy and tries to help people out every time that there's a need. That tells you, it speaks volumes about the type of people that's in Weakley County, Tennessee, Northwest Tennessee, as well as parts of Obion County too as well. No, it actually tells you the volume. It speaks volumes about the type of people that's in this country now that has basically sold their souls to Satan, and they're disguised as trying to duplicate or imitate some sort of a godly source pertaining to Christ. And if the truth be known, all they are is the devil in reincarnation towards being nothing but a devil in disguise. And it's really sad. It's really, really sad because you don't know who to trust. You don't know who's going to be stabbing who in the back. It's just crazy. Absolutely nuts. I'm hoping that we'll be able to pull a couple of those boards out without having to unload half the daggum. I was looking for my gloves. I don't see none. Without having to unload half the trailer just to get a couple shoe buckles out. Go to the back of it, Jimmy. Go to the back of the trailer. I gave you like $2 a piece. That's landscape timber. Get 3 of them. That way you'll have one to cut. You do your upper, your header for $2. Huh? You can make a header. That's what they call the bumper. You can make a header. Have a whole lot. You ain't got to worry about that rotting. So that's pretty. David's thinking that somebody come by here. No. Burn a valve up on the upper head. David's thinking somebody poured gasoline in the tank while all that ruckus was going on out here with the Ridgeway family and the Sheffield family and everything. We know for a fact that his dog got poisoned. No, they slow down a little bit. Jimmy, I've got some more boards up here that are probably due to your liking. Let's drive up here real quick.
I've got to get busy. I know tomorrow's Sunday. I'm not messing with Sunday. About 2 more weeks, I'm gonna have to get my mower out.
Yeah.
I know they're mowing right now.
Yeah. This is Danny's old trailer. I don't know if these planks right here is what you're looking for, or if you're looking for something more bigger, like this. They're pretty long, so you're not going to need the 4 or 5 foot, are you? Huh?
They'll cross that way down here.
Now, wait a second before you do that. I've got some other planks that's treated. They come off a door facing right there. I've got some more planks that's treated. Let's look at those real quick. That I hate to give up those because those are fairly expensive. Those 2 by 8s and 2 by 10s are expensive. And you're not looking for something actually building a house out of it. upper on top of those other boards. I'd put it in there on top of them other boards. It went down there about a foot and a half. I can see it. It's all the way down on the floor. Guess wrap. Listen, I know you got your hands full with May because she's very temperamental. One day she's this way, one day she's that way. One day she likes you, one day she hates you. I know about half that stuff that she talks about and she does. She don't mean. She don't mean it. She's getting senile. She's 90 what? 94. So don't. In other words, take it with a grain of salt in what she says and how she presents herself. How many children has she done had died? No, 6. Really? So then you don't have to still see you're going to die when you're not going to die. That's God's doing. And I don't understand the reason why she wants to go ahead and check out of here. She's probably in constant pain and constant misery. The new news. 3 months. No, but I'm good. You're breaking. You're breaking, Jimmy. I'm telling you, you're breaking. Put it right there. Just try it slow. Here. There's a hook right down here. delusional? Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you don't use of that, I'll get it myself. Don't worry about it. Hey, you don't need no hand toward holding something or picking up something, do you? You got a ruler? You got a blade? Okay. You're trying to get those animals go to where they're confined, right? You do know that there is a Tennessee leash law, right? He can't kill them unless he feels like his life is in danger. That's like saying that you can kill me because I went and knocked on your door and I work. Listen to me. And I work for the Jehovah's Witness and I'm trying to pass out a pamphlet. You can't kill somebody just because they walk on your property. You've got to have a valid reason for killing either a human being or even a domestic animal. Now, if they're growling at his kids, that's different. And they have been known to growling at me. So I do know that they do like to growl. Well, they ain't never bit me, but you told me that they've bitten some people. I'll talk to you later.